All right, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live, former Pirate reliever, host of the Danny Beal Show. He is Danny Beal joining us. What's up, DB?
What's going on, fellas?
Big baseball weekend on tap. East Carolina, North Carolina, one in Greenville, which we'll have to wait for, one in Chapel Hill, and then Saturday in Durham. And Danny, before we get there, I guess we can talk about the 2-2 start for Pirate baseball. The Campbell curse, whatever you want to call it, strikes again. Campbell has had East Carolina's number for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean they're always really scrappy. Their head coach just left for Ohio State, and they've got a new staff, and it seems to be the same old Camels. I saw Riley at Young's the other day, and we were talking about how the last time that we beat them was in 22 after we got swept by Bryant, and we clobbered them in Bowie's Creek, and then ever since then it's been 5 straight one-run losses, and it's like you just can't catch a break. And it's one of those things where they always play us tough, as a lot of teams in state do.
I said this going into the game, and I don't think it was a jinx. I said East Carolina, talking to you, talking to Mully, even hearing from Cliff, should be set up well for midweek games this year from a pitching standpoint with all the arms you've told me about, the depth and everything. And I felt like that came to fruition the other night. Pitching was good enough to win, right? Just couldn't get the bats going.
Yeah, I mean, it's this year more than ever. It's the depth in terms of there's a set guy where Sundays, it's in the past it's been, well, we'll see who's going to start. It's like, well, whoever we pick this year is totally competent and able to do so. And it's the same thing in midweeks. And normally in years past, it's been the pitching that has kind of hurt us on the road. Like I would joke with like some of the players and like Pack and Franny and being like, oh, we're going to the House of Pain, going to Campbell or going to UNCW or wherever, stuff like that. But it's normally those are the kind of Achilles heels of ours where pitching hurts us, where whether you think about me last year throwing a ball up the right field line and almost blowing at Wilmington or even in other games. But I think this year that's a very, very, very strong part of our team. But it's just with the offense, man, it's going to come. They're just so young, dude. It's just a lot of those guys in that lineup haven't even played Division I baseball. You got to cut them some slack a little bit at the beginning.
Coach O joined me in that seat a couple of days ago and said East Carolina might be even more talented and deep than North Carolina when it comes to overall. But he did say their top end starters are the real deal, yeah. And the way the bats have gone, the trend says North Carolina will have success pitching against East Carolina this weekend. But how about the other side? Our guys against their bats. Do you think it looks like we're going to see some low-scoring games this series?
I mean, it's one or the other. It's never like 6-7 or 7-8. It's always like 3-2 or 11-10. It's always one or the other. And they're obviously super talented. They're ranked as high as they are for a reason, and they got a lot of returning pieces from the Omaha team last year, and they got a bunch of great transfers. They had Scott Jackson come over from Liberty, who was their head coach, and they brought a couple players with them who were really good, and they'll be ready to go. It's always a dogfight between those two, and it'll be interesting to see how we react, and hopefully we can throw the first punch in all 3 games and get the offense and the pitching going.
Watching baseball, I'm kind of game by game, even series by series, sometimes inning by inning. Watching it with you, you are pitch by pitch. You still have the player's mentality. When I was watching the game with you last week, and every pitch matters, every little thing matters, and that's why Cliff Godwin's teams have been such a success, because you take those little things so seriously. We were talking about that with Cliff when it came to the World Series last year and what separated the Dodgers from the Yankees. And a lot of times it was kind of basic fundamental things and things that Cliff preaches. But, it was kind of entertaining, and I also felt a little worried for you watching the game the other day because you are super into it.
Yeah, well, I care. I care about the team. I care about the guys. I obviously care about Coach G a lot, and AK and Palumbo and all those guys. But it's a mentality that you bring. Because I'd be guilty. I didn't care about, like, I was like almost game to game or at bat to at bat when I was in high school, and then you get here and you see how much the details matter, and it's gonna even matter even more this weekend, obviously, because it's a big game and big series, and something that the fans circle and blow out of proportion because it's the Carolina Blue, it's the N and the C, but it's just another game for those guys, and hopefully I know that's the way that Coach Godwin and the staff's approaching it. Can't make it bigger than what it is. Just got to go out and be who we are, and it doesn't matter what they do. If we take care of what we know we can control, we'll be good. A
lot of good stuff out of that first weekend, Danny, and I know Sean Jenkins is a guy that you've said is not going to be scared of the moment, and even after a shaky start, some his fault, some not. He had a tremendous performance, and I thought Jarrett was there after the game doing interviews. He had a tremendous post-game performance. Usually the freshmen don't talk to the media. This guy, it looks like he's had media training for the last 10 years.
I was just as shocked as you were. I was like, he is pretty literate. I was pleased with that. But
Yeah.
he looked great. If we make a couple plays in the first inning, a couple pitches go differently, then he doesn't give up any runs. And I mean, besides obviously him getting baptized with the longest home run, one of the longest home runs I've ever seen at Clark LeClaire, that was a welcome to college moment for him. But it was a great performance, especially first outing coming off a loss. Like you're looking, or I guess coming off a win, technically split on Friday, but you're looking for those things where it's like, okay, let's see how he does, and he fit the mold. It was perfect, and Coach AK and Godwin put a great plan for him together and handed it off to the bullpen, and then things took care of itself from there, and we got the series win. But I'm looking forward to how he develops off of that outing these next couple weeks. He hasn't stopped his preparation or how hard he works just because of one outing, at least from what I've heard and seen. So I'm looking forward to him and the rest of the staff going forward.
I don't mind asking you guys about giving up bombs. I did it with Josh Gross. I remember when he gave up one of the longest home runs I've seen. I want to say at North Carolina, maybe.
Oh yeah, that was bad. That went really far.
And my friend and your friend Chandler Honeycutt jokingly said, "Ask Danny about one he gave up to." Was it Honeycutt last year? Or?
Honeycutt, yeah, hung a breaking ball in the 7th inning, 0-1. That went pretty far.
Pretty far.
I didn't watch it. AK could probably tell you. Actually, no. I remember AK turned around and spiked his clipboards. I don't think he saw it, but that one did go pretty far. I don't know. I've seen some really far ones. There was a kid named Danny Soretti when I was a freshman that we were playing Carolina here in a midweek. That's when we were only playing them in series. He hit a ball in the right field jungle off the lights, almost like Gross-esque, where I was like, whoa, that went really far. But there have been a couple that I've given up where I'm like, yeah, it's not a cheap one.
Dixon hit one really far, and in fact, was watching it with you. You said you were a little surprised. If you pimp a home run to center, you are doing something, because that is
in February, dude.
Yeah, right. If
you
yank one, you pull one, you kind of know it's gone. You're doing that to ball to center, man. You're doing something right, and he got all over that one. But how about his start to the season so far?
It was funny. I think it was Carter, sent me his post game clip of him saying, "Yeah, I pimped it. I didn't really know if it was going out though, but it was funny." But he's the leader, and he was hitting leadoff on Tuesday for a reason, and he's trying to be the spark plug and be the guy, the catalyst. And I think it will take a little bit more pressure off him when Riley gets back. It will be not so much on him to be the guy. Obviously, he'll still be counted on, but I don't think it'll be as much on him to get on base as it will be after to drive guys in. But it's early, guys. Like, I don't understand why everybody freaks out about, oh, Dixon's not hitting. Oh, the pitching staff's keeping us in games, but the offense can't do anything. Like, relax. It's not like we're 4 games in. Like, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's give the guys some time. You got to think, Dixon is the only everyday returning starter.
Yeah.
Sewell played a little bit. 7 other guys are either redshirts or transfers that haven't played this high-level Division I baseball. So if everybody can relax and give the guys some grace instead of trying to bury them and say this is the worst East Carolina team in years, then we can, give them some confidence for once. I mean, good Lord.
Looking forward to seeing these guys grow. I mean, I think Irby could have some
stud.
I think
really
he's
good
going to
player.
have a good year
and a good career. He's 18 years old. Like, you got to think about.
I go back to like Connor Norby, who his first year, it took him a while.
He sucked. He'll admit it too.
Yeah, Carter Spivey.
Also very bad.
Very, very bad. You've said you were terrible.
I'm also very bad.
We'll give it a little time.
Yeah.
Before we
if this is May and we're still struggling, that's a different question. And again, it's still not to put any pressure on them, but give them some time. They're here for a reason. They're this talented. They're gonna put it together for sure.
Danny, how much do you flip around ESPN Plus? Like, are you watching college baseball? Yeah, you're still all into it.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny because I make fun of Trey because they can't bet on anything. Not that I do, but they can't bet on baseball at all. And we'll look at lines and stuff like that just because we're curious and we're still super involved. Like we have an alumni group chat that we talk about the landscape of college baseball, professional baseball, and stuff with a lot of the pitchers and stuff, and we just chat. But it's cool to be able to look at it from a different perspective. Like, just being able to be in the stands and watch, it's such a different experience. And it's not. It's more of a rooting interest than a vested interest because you're not on the team in the locker room every day with those guys. So it's definitely weird being on this side of it.
I was going to ask, are you alone now? Do you still have roommates? When do those guys head
all
off?
alone. Carter left last Sunday, so I guess 5 days ago. And Trey's been gone for 2 weeks. He's too important to stay for this long. But he's been in Florida for a little bit. But him and Carter are gone, and I'm all alone.
And I haven't checked. There was a game like 2 days ago, right? I don't know if there. Oh, we got games today in baseball.
Dodgers played the Cubs yesterday, and they're starting games this weekend. So Crocheted goes Sunday for the Sox. I'm excited to watch that.
There are. Do you know if any of these young guys are going to participate in this stuff?
I don't know. I know Trey throws live today. I don't know if that's like a simulated game or just like a one-on-one thing. But I know he throws live. I know Carter's taking live ABs. I don't know if it's specifically against Trey, which would be pretty funny. But I don't think they're going to be playing with the big league club. I think it's going to be more backfield, like developmental stuff. I could be wrong, but that's just kind of the vibe I've gotten from still talking to them, playing Fortnite with them and stuff.
Nova took it to UConn, right, earlier this week. What do you think about Marquette -1.5 at Nova tonight?
I don't hate it. I don't necessarily like it. I don't hate it though.
Okay.
There's a couple. What's the other? It's Michigan and Michigan State, right? That's the. I think it's 3.5 because it's at Chrysler.
You are correct on all those things. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that one's.
You like the Wolverines home team?
I kind of like
Sparty.
Kind of like Sparty. Dude, Izzo's hot. Izzo's hot. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm more wrong than right when it comes to that stuff.
Danny Beal joining us. Danny, how about your career? Where are we at on that?
In a good spot. Obviously still throwing. Been at Young's a lot, just trying to keep my body healthy and in a good spot. And Kevin and his staff have done a tremendous job with that. But no, in a good spot. Still got a couple more weeks. Still, it's the where whatever analogy you want to use, where the rubber meets the road. But here in the next couple of weeks, should be making a decision as to what I'm going to do. And good Lord willing, it's the one that we all want. So hopefully it comes to fruition, and we'll see here in a few weeks.
Yeah, good luck with that. Once a Pirate, always a Pirate. You'll be at the baseball game on Saturday.
Yep, Saturday and Monday I'll be there.
Potentially the basketball game Sunday. And on that note, I'm going to ask everybody. Rajay is in. I am in. If East Carolina makes the NCAA tournament, will you go blonde like C.J. Walker? Will you join Rajay Harris and I and go blonde?
Like full hair dye?
Yeah. For ECU to make the basketball tournament, which they haven't done in your lifetime.
You know, I've thought about it. So I listened to a Joe Burrow interview the other day, and he was talking about how he wanted frosted tips, but he went full Slim Shady and dyed the whole thing because it would look weird if he just went. What if I just went tips?
I think that would kind of be funny. So, yeah.
All right,
we'll do the frosted tips.
I'll do it.
All right, full blonde for Rajay and I.
I'll go tips.
Frosted tips for DB. Is that like white almost? Like
like a blondish white, like a blondish white. Yeah.
All right, I like that. All right, DB's in. We're gonna have everybody going blonde in Greenville if we can make this tournament. All right, DB.
Tournament.
Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, fellas. Thanks.